Hello, and welcome to the Cup TV, the Currently Unnamed Podcast, where we put the real and the tea in reality. And you can always come to us first to quench your thirst. I am your girl, Lana, your resident evil diva. And I'm here to give the tea, spill the tea, and drink the tea because you know I love me some tea. Purr. And you know what I also love? I do love my cup mug, period. Period. The dog loves it too. We love it for us. We love it for him. And you know what? You can get your cup mug at lanatescreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And if you look right at the right side of the screen there, next to Brook, you'll see a QR code. You can scan it and it'll take you right to the shop so you can get your cup mug or any of our other cup merch. And we do ship internationally and domestically, so there are no excuses. Get your cup mug, period. And thank you.
And hi, everybody. It's Brook, and I'm passionate about pop culture. It's also just been some time. I've missed a couple weeks. A couple
Mm-hmm.
weeks of Survivor this season. Being on the pod. Blame school. Life's been doing its big one, but we're here, and I'm just gonna quickly say, I really enjoy this season, and I'm having a great time. So
Period.
that's just me. Just me.
Period.
Um, And I'm so excited because this is like a ringside reunion today. It's so lovely.
It's your boy. It's the guy, the rumor, the legend, Tophman, Tophman. Not
Not
quite a
toast,
Riz
man.
god, but I am certainly a Tophman. And I am here. I am so excited. I've been watching this season. And, well, slow burn. Season was a slow burn, but
Mm-hmm.
now that we've gotten to the merge, it has kicked itself into high gear, and I am thoroughly enjoying Survivor 49, not just waiting for Survivor 50.
Period. And I'm so excited, first of all, to have both of you here because it's been a minute. It's been a minute since we have been here together. You think, life is life. And so I love having, I missed y'all. I missed y'all. And so we're here, we're back, and we're talking Survivor, which is crazy. But, you know, we're going to get into the episode because we're talking to episode 9 and we're going to get all into it. But before we do, there are some things I need you to do for me. If this is your first time joining us for Survivor 49, welcome. We truly appreciate you being a part. If you can hit that subscribe button right down below, subscribe to this channel and all of our other channels in the Cup Network because we are trying to get 1,000 new subscribers by the end of the year. And the end of the year is here, and we're only halfway there. So I kind of want you all to help me out, if you will, because if you don't help us get to that goal by the end of the year, then I'll just go into 2026 still asking because I'm not going to stop because I'm persistent that way. So, if you will help us and subscribe to this channel and all of our other channels, all the links will be in the description below in our link tree. You can click it. If you're a fan of drag or drag race, we have a channel for you at the Cup Pod. If you're a fan of Eurovision Song Contest, we got a channel for you at the Cup ESC. And on both of those channels, it's about to start popping off on a lot on ESC for sure because juniors is starting. Drag,
The hell?
drag, drag just never stops. I don't even know what that was. Drag just
That
never
would be sweet.
stops.
That would be my Spotify just randomly opening when I opened my phone.
Well, there we go. Well, but and on drag, we just never stop. We have constant content coming from you over there. Also, follow us on our audio podcast links because we want to be wherever you are. So go and check out the links in our audio podcast links. And I know we've said this before, but we mean it now. This is the time to join our Patreon because we got a lot of fun, new things popping off in our Patreon. If you are a fan of competitive television, reality television, our Patreon is where you want to be because we have a new Patreon exclusive series called Gone Too Soon about shows for who we may or may not think have been on the air for not long enough, or maybe they've overstayed their welcome. We're going to be talking about some of those shows that are possibly gone too soon. So you want to join our Patreon. Brooke is Brooke and Jack is leading that up with a few of us popping in from time to time. So you
Mhm.
definitely want to check that out. Also, Movie Bucket is in our Patreon. We are doing movie reviews. So check out our Movie Bucket is also on the Patreon. Brooke is also a part of that. And River and Eduardo, they are leading that up with a few people joining in from time to time. Maybe me joining next month. I'm just saying.
Keep an eye open, everyone, because Movie
Keep an
Bucket's
eye
really
open.
fun. Yeah, Gone Too Soon. The first episode of Gone Too Soon just dropped
Ah,
yesterday, so like
yes.
you are, and it's monthly, so you don't have to worry about trying to catch back up. Movie Bucket is once a week. We are doing good numbers on that. But I'll tell you right now, when it comes to Gone Too Soon, our first episode yesterday was on Solitary, and if you it was a delight. Next time we're talking about Pirate Masters, so that's going to be fun too.
So definitely check out our Patreon and check out all of our socials at the Cup Out on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. Follow us over there. Everything is great. Okay, that's enough of these intros. I think I took too long, but we're talking Survivor because I know you're here for us to talk about Survivor, and that's what we're going to talk about. Episode 9, we come back to camp, and five people are very shocked when the group who was at Tribal Council comes back to camp, and they learn that MC had been voted out, and the reaction that was given for MC's departure did not sit so well with Yellow Sophie, because Yellow Sophie was kind of like, y'all are a little sad and shocked that I'm here and MC's gone. Like, how am I supposed to feel that y'all are super shocked and like, oh my God, not MC? What happened? What happened? What went down? And she's like, nobody cares. So y'all like, fully expected me to go. Okay, okay. And I was like, yeah. I can understand why she feels that way, but I'm like, well, girl, you ain't MC. But that's because I was here for MC. So yeah, I would have reacted the same way if I was there because I'm like, what you mean MC gone? But yeah, Sophie felt the type of way, and I don't blame her. I would have felt a type of way too if that was the reaction that I came back.
It's
Yeah. Oh, go ahead.
I was just saying it's so interesting when you're in that position of it being, like everybody's so upset that MC's gone, but what they're really saying is that they're upset that you're still here. And
Mm-hmm.
so, how do you handle that, and how do you react? And I think Sophie did the right thing by putting it to the back of her brain and saying, "You know what? I'm going to remember this. I'm not going to react right now in the moment, but I am going to take a mental note of where I stand in these people's eyes." And I think we saw how that played out a little bit later on in this episode.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'll say for me personally, th- I haven't really been featuring Yellow Sophie much this season. Not for any particular reason. The show hasn't really been featuring her much either. But when it comes to this particular element, I'm like, way to read the room, because I think these people were fully ready. They were expecting Rizzo to come back because everybody knows about the damn idol, but like they thought it was going to be her because
Mm-hmm.
in their mind she's expendable to them. In the long
Mm-hmm.
term, she is the most expendable person in their group. If it was like if they came back and well, we still saw what happened when MC wasn't there, right? Somebody that they were all like very high on, wanted to keep in the game, keep with them. They were shocked, gagged, gooped, betrifled, every other adjective they're in. And it was really interesting to see them react to that situation and see Sophie react to their reaction.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like I said, I don't blame her for her reaction because I probably would have felt the same way if everybody reacted like, "Oh, you're still here." We was looking for some, it was but it opened her eyes to a lot of things of where she was, her what her status was in the game, like where was she on the totem pole on the yellow tribe, and who they wanted to keep. But the next day we definitely see Sophie like processing all of this information and realizing like I did not realize where I was in this game and who I could trust, who I can't trust. She no longer trusts Christina because
Mm-hmm.
Christina's reaction. she semi trusts Steven, and I'm like, shouldn't you not trust him too? Because like his reaction was just as severe as Christina's reaction, but you don't trust her at all, but you semi trust Steven. Okay. All right. All right, Sophie. Don't piss me off, Sophie. But she started that was a little pissing me off. I was like, okay, Sophie, don't do it, but she pissed me off. But she was like, I sort of still kind of trust Steven, but I'm not sure. But I'm pretty much a free agent at this point. She was like, at this point, I have to play this game for Sophie, which I'm like, shouldn't you have been doing that from day one? But okay. But
Mhm.
that's just me because, like, every time I feel like everybody should come into Survivor playing for you. Like, I'm numero uno. I'm the only person I'm playing for is me right now. And if I happen to get in some alliances, great. But at the end of the day, I'm still only playing for me. But she's like, I'm playing for me. Her eyes are open. And then we see the trio of Rizzo, Savannah, and Sophie realizing how much power they actually have in this game. Even though Sophie with an I, rather, so I hate calling her Sophie. I'm not gonna call her.
Who's
Sophie
so?
with an I. She don't like Sophie. She don't
Sophie
like
with an
Sophie
eye.
either. She don't like Sophie either. So I ain't gonna call her Sophie with an I. Um, they realize how much power that they actually have together because Rizzo did not have to use his idol in that vote out for MC. Savannah did get an extra vote and did not have to use it. So now they have an idol, an extra vote, and unbeknownst to them, they have a knowledge of power in that same trio. And Sophie is just getting all this knowledge about what is going on. And so they kind of like, you know, if we stick together, we could do some damage in this game. And at first I was like, yeah, maybe. But then I was like, no, yeah, they really can. Because now I'm thinking about who this trio is. Because Rizzo is playing this game like like a like a boss. Because how I don't understand how you have a well-known idol, a very public idol, and you go 2 weeks when you should be gone or at least that idol flushed and you don't have to use it at all. Your name gets written down once.
I I think we are going to see an effect of Rizzo not playing his idol on future seasons because I think the big mistake comes 2 episodes ago when it's, oh, we need to be safe and we're going to go ahead and vote out Nate because voting out Nate did 2 things. One, it allowed Rizzo to keep his idol and Rizzo sussed that out. But 2, it like trauma bonded Rizzo and Savannah together and now they're
Hmm.
fighting from the bottom together. And I think sometimes you just have to take the move. Even if you're going to waste the votes because you know the person has an idol, not voting out the person with the idol makes these players look foolish. Like,
Weak.
is Rizzo that good or are they that bad?
This reminds me a lot of Cook Islands of like you'll. I mean, granted, it was the old school idol that could be played after the votes were read, so like there's a little bit of a difference there. But like they knew Yule had that idol. They had known Yule had that idol for rounds at the time. They didn't do anything about it, and after Yule got the majority and they kept the majority, then they voted out Jonathan, and then at that point it was just I2's making the final four. And at that point, you know, it gets to a point where you kind of have to say, what are we going to do about this? Or are we just gonna not do anything about this and maybe think, okay, well, Rizzo's not doing great at the challenges. We can beat him and get him out at 4, maybe, is the thought process at this point.
Yeah.
Because to me, if you're not going to play that, if you are not going to flush that idol, you've had multiple attempts where you could have done it at this point. Start angling in him to include him in your plans because that's what you're going to have to do until after the idols expire at 5. Those are your choices. Either get him out, get the idol out now, and maybe waste around and lose an ally, or figure out what you're going to do to work with him moving forward because those are really your only choices.
And it's so interesting that it seems like the mindset, and we'll, I guess, get to this when we get closer to Tribal, but it's like I think almost like the culture of other shows is starting to ripple in of like it's like almost like the trader's effect of like when you get out a trader, they just assign somebody else to be a trader. You don't know who it's going to be. So like
Mm-hmm.
now it's the same way with the idols of like, well, if we flush the idol, then somebody else is just going to get the idol and we don't know who's going to have it. We know
True.
where it's at now. It's crazy.
True. It is a crazy thing. But even with that, we still now have that trio forming saying we have this power, this chance to, advance ourselves in the game. And then you have the Jawan and Sage of it all, who has really much the ultimate power, I would say, for now. Because where they go is where the vote seems to go, and that's what it's looked like for these last couple weeks. Like they were the deciding factor of where the votes were going to land and who was going to go. And so Juwan and Sage are like sitting very pretty in this middle position of like, we can go with the original Uli, or we cannot go with the original Uli. We can figure out what works best as the day goes by, and people are recognizing that. But it's like everybody wants to work with them. Everybody wants to have them on their side. So nobody's going for them. Nobody's like, maybe we should take out Sage or Juwan. No, no. We need Sage or Juwan. We're gonna work with them. Each side is like, we'll have them on our side, and that way we can get out who we want to get out. And I think that's a very interesting position for these two people to be in. I would have never have put them in this position like at the beginning of this game, or heck, even in the middle before in that second swap or whatever. I would have never have thought that Jawan and Sage would be in this position, but here they are.
I I agree with that. I think that when Jawan first started off, it was like this unbeknownst to Jawan. Jawan's on the bottom, but Jawan's playing like he's on the top. Like I
Hmm.
think it was the episode that when they first swapped, and I was like, man, Jawan ratting out this guy that's coming to him saying, "Hey, I think you're on the bottom. I'm on the bottom. Let's work too." I was like, this is gonna blow up in Jawan's face. I was very wrong because clearly Jawan has positioned himself more in the middle than
Hmm.
somebody that was actually trying to play the middle.
Yeah. Yeah. It's a very interesting dichotomy that's happening with Jawan and Sage for me. And I'm just like, okay, I'm gonna sit back and see what happens with this, because I'm not sure. It could blow up really fast, or it could help them get further and further into this game. But I don't really know what's happening. But um, let's get to the reward challenge, because I feel like that's where we are right now. Let's get to the reward challenge of it all. They go to the reward challenge, and we see a thing where they're going to divide them up into teams of two, four on each side, being a schoolyard pick, with one castaway not being chosen. Um, and so they have to push heavy cubes from the start to a station with the sandbags. One castaway has to climb onto the cube, free the sandbags. Then all team members must crawl under a net, and then one castaway has to toss the sandbags in the air to free three rings. Free the three rings from this pole, and then you have to use those rings to toss them back onto the pole. And the first team to finish wins a food reward of fried chicken, french fries, and cheesecake. Oh, and sodas. And if I was
And
away,
blueberries.
huh?
And blueberries.
And blueberries, some fruits. I'm like, if
You forgot the
I
blueberries.
I forgot the blueberries, but you tell me I ain't ate in 16 days or whatever. You tell me I can give me some French fries and some fried chicken, baby. I'm doing whatever I can to win that.
So,
I'm busting my heart. I'm busting my heart and soul to get that.
but my thought though with the fried chicken is like you just gave them live chickens to kill, and then it's
Yeah.
like they did that for nothing. You know, I'm sorry, as the vegan of the group, I must say, like, why did we make them kill chickens just to give them chickens 5 days later?
Well, it's not
Because
fried.
survivors.
It's not fried.
I was
Jeff
so
just
like,
Jeff just wanted to
what are
sing
we
his fried
doing?
chicken song again. Okay,
But
Jeff just wanted his fried chicken song moment again. That's all he wanted.
Can I
I saw
comment?
someone post online. They're like, "I bet you Jeff made them sing that damn fried chicken thing again,"
Uh,
and then they just cut it from the episode.
can, can I comment though on the function of these reward challenges? This is something
Mm-hmm.
in the new era that I take exception to, right? That I think is frustrating. One, what if you're going to do a schoolyard pick'em, then the person not picked should be a consequence of not getting picked. She shouldn't have gotten to pick like, oh, I'm going to choose which side, because then there's actual stakes to not picking her. Two, why is every reward challenge, let's just split you guys in half and feed half of you? Because
Right.
that's like, listen, you only got 10 days left of the game. They're all but 3 of them are gonna eat plenty before the end of those 10 days. Like, why are we splitting them in half? Have them, did we not was not one of the most moments of the new era Liz not getting picked for that challenge? Like, why do we not want to replicate that as much as possible? So quit
Right.
just giving half of them food. That's why you got Christina willing to give it up. You know what I mean? Like, we stop dividing them in half. Make them an individual. That's my look on that. I miss old Survivor. Jeff, that doesn't mean don't cast me, Uncle Jeff. I'm just saying I miss old Survivor.
I miss when it made sense. You know what I mean? That's just where it's at. I miss when it always made sense, even if I didn't like it. It made sense.
Yes. I do like when we have it's individuals and then the person has to pick 2 or 3 people to go along with them. And so it's like it also shows your cards, or if you're playing it smart, or like I like that too. I wish they would do that more. But the blue team or the yellow team has to go, and the blue team ends up winning this challenge. And it's Savannah, Alex, Christina, and Sophie who wins. Sophie with an I picked the yellow team who was going to win, so she was already losing anyway. But then Christina is like, listen, as Topher alluded to earlier, Christina's like, you know what? Jawan has not eaten this whole time, and he has not complained about it. He's not eaten. I feel like he needs to eat, and so I'm going to get Jeff. Can I give him my spot? And Jawan's like, no, no, I didn't earn it. I haven't earned this, and I want to earn it, and I didn't earn it. She was like, but you haven't eaten, and I was like, look at this. Would you look at this? Look at the black woman always trying to save the day. Don't we just love it here? I love it here. I love seeing a black woman save, trying to be saved, trying to save someone and help. And it's but that's the nurturer in Christina. You can tell she's just a nurturer. She's just somebody who just likes to nurture and help people. And so she's like, baby, you have not eaten. And you pushing so hard on camp, and you opening up coconuts when everybody's exhausted and you're exhausted and you're trying to help people. When are you going to let somebody help you? Let me help you. And Joanna's like, no, no, because he's so used to being that person that helps and never the person to receive. He's always like, he gives and he gives and he gives. And now it's his time to receive. In
Oh,
Chicago, you know what I'm talking about,
oh, no,
period.
hold on,
Mhm.
hold on. We have the clip for that.
I mean, it's just like, you give, you
I'm
give, you
so
give.
used to giving, and now I get to receive.
Period, 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 period.
You didn't think we
Yeah.
could make it through an entire season of Big Brother coverage without adding Jocasta on here?
I mean, period. But like she he and now that we heard his story of him taking care of his siblings and being that older brother who is always the one in charge, taking care of people, he doesn't get to receive. And now he was like, okay, and they literally had to force him to just say yes. Just say yes. Just go and eat. So Christina gave up her spot for Jawan to go and have some food. And I was like, that was nice. That was very nice of her. I mean, I wouldn't have did it, but that was very nice of her. That was very sweet. Um, and I would have been annoyed if they would have got to that feast and was like, okay, so now we vote now Christina, because I'd have been like, hello, hello. I would have been pissed. I would have been pissed. They said, even though she got an idol that 2 people know about, but I would have been real pissed off if they would have got to that thing. It's like, okay, so we go vote out Christina. I'd be like,
My
So
my thought
Christina,
process too was about Christina. One, again, I'm sorry that I don't think the new era is hard enough because you wouldn't be giving up food if it was. Two, if I'm looking at that quadruple there, I mean, Alex is cool, but I'm having to go eat dinner with Yellow Sophie and Savannah after the whole, like, I'd be giving up my spot too.
all I'm gonna say is this. Love Savannah.
Oh,
Love
yes.
Mhm.
Savannah. Love Savannah.
I love Savannah from Christina's perspective, though.
Oh yeah, of course.
Yes.
I'm just,
Yes.
yeah. But the messiness of this whole situation is really fun to me because usually whenever somebody does something like this, it always ends up going badly. Like every time, it seems like, right? Like I remember Nicaragua when Nayanka won that reward the day before she quit, and there was that whole moment of like, so you're not going to give up your reward for the tribe, so we can get rice when you're about to leave by your own choice and you're leaving, like. Nicaragua. But anytime somebody gives up a reward, it's always a mess. But this is like the one time I can remember where it's been like relatively positive all the way around. So good job, Christina, I guess.
Awesome. I mean, it didn't really work out for her because Jawan, didn't curry favor. Jawan didn't vote with her later on. So, right?
Yeah, it was. Yeah, I mean, he didn't do it. I don't think it hurt, but I don't think it did anything for her necessarily. Like nothing out of this came and was like, "Hey, we're great. We're doing this." And we have a new person joining us because I'm going to let them do it because guess what? I forgot to tell them that we were starting earlier. So there's Mike. Hey, Mike.
Hi.
I forgot to tell you we started earlier, so that's
No
on
worries.
me. But
Hi, Mike.
yes, but like Christina's, like I said, it worked. It was fine. It didn't really mess her up. Like nobody was going to come for her. Number one, she's not a threat to anybody at this point in this game, and so nobody's really going to come for Christina at the time. And it was just a nice thing for her to do for her. So it was like,
Mm.
cool. Just a nice, pleasant thing, and she did it, and Juwan appreciated it. Wasn't nobody coming for Christina, not yet. She got time. But when we do get back to camp after the reward challenge, and they're eating, and the others are not, Steven is kind of like, you know what? I'm kind of glad I ain't got to eat no chicken because I just had to kill 2 chickens already. So therefore, I ain't eat no fried chicken. I'm good. I don't. I'm good. I mean, some French fries would have been nice, but the fried chicken, I'm good because I'm having dreams about these chickens. I think they plotting for me. They're trying to come for me, and I don't know. I'm nervous. I'm nervous about the chickens. So I'm gonna let these chickens go. I'm gonna let them breathe. I'm gonna let them live, and I'm gonna do me and let y'all eat that. But nobody. Here's what I do miss about old school Survivor though. Nobody mad. Ain't nobody mad about the people over there eating and they sitting over there watching them eat. What happens to people sitting there like, I'm mad.
Oh,
I'm
they make
mad.
half of them are going to get to eat tomorrow. They're going to split them up into 2 teams of 4, and half of them are going to get food. That's how it's good. That's why they ain't mad. Steven's complaining. I don't even want chicken. I'm so full on chicken. Come on. 2016.
Okay,
Well,
I'm sorry. I love Steven, for the record. Like, as a character, Steven has been so damn entertaining to me. Especially this episode. I was cackling every time he opened his mouth about space. Like, it's so
Space
dumb.
packs.
It's like the Christian Hubicki effect of, like, it should be annoying, but for some reason, because he's so earnest about it, it's so entertaining. But hearing somebody complain about having too much food on Survivor was whack.
wild.
And it's only day 16. Y'all.
Right, y'all. And I'm like,
There's less than 10 days left.
Yes.
And,
which
like,
I'm just like, what do you mean? You too full. You don't care about who eats. Like, I'm all right. I don't need no chicken. Hello?
the only person who was allowed to complain about having too much food on Survivor is Joe from Karong. Everyone else, like, they can't do it. Okay.
Yeah,
Oh
no,
my
like
God.
we've seen, like I said this even last season with the way what's her name? She just got to eat every single time there was I think she ate at every reward challenge. And I was like, what do you mean? She just constantly eat. And
Only
this
person to
is what
gain weight on Survivor.
right. Like she went on Survivor and came back bigger than she. I was like, how did Eva? Like
I was going to
how
say,
did
it's
you?
either Eva or Camilla.
It
It's
was
Eva.
Eva. It was.
She ate every single reward challenge she had to, and I'm like, how? But that is this whole thing, like you said, so for you split them up in half, and half the people get to eat, and half of them don't, and then that's it's okay because they don't eat next week. It's okay. We're not worried about food. We it's too. But then Jeff will say, "We go make it harder for you here on Survivor, this new Survivor." It's not that hard if everybody's full.
Yeah. It was hard for Kelly and about nobody else. So
Right.
Yeah,
to
yeah. Shout out to Kelly, but now Alex is like, I'm full now. I'm eating a lot. Well, he was,
Yeah.
and
and Sophie's
so
eating a lot too now.
they all eating. Everybody eating again, so it's all good. But they back and they talking, and they still trying to figure out what's gonna happen, what they want to do. We not gonna make no like stone cold plans because we don't know who go win immunity, but we know who we want. Rizzo has made a plan. He wants Alex because he is now seeing. He like, oh, I see you, Alex. I see what you about. I see what you doing. And I was like, that's the org player in him because he just sussed out really quickly that Alex was playing both sides of the realm. And he's like, you can't do that because I'm trying to do that. And if I can doing that, I don't need you doing that. And he sussed it out so quickly. He just one conversation, Alex is like, hey, just want y'all to know I am here. I'm open and I'm ready to work with you. After not talking to you before and
Yeah.
trying to work with you before, now I'm ready to work with y'all. And just use me. Let me know what you want to do. Blah blah blah. And Rizzo was like, that's weird. That's suspicious. Like, what do you mean you want to work with me now? And he's like, and everybody's like talking. He's like, yeah, that's cool. That's cool. Rizzo's like, nah. So he has now started his plan. He's like, nah, Alex is the one. Alex is the one that gotta go. And I don't know how we go pull it off, but he started planting that seed even before the immunity challenge was like, told Savannah, told Sophie with an eye, like, hey, we need to look at Alex. And I was nervous of him telling Sophie with an eye at first because I'm like, Sophie with an eye and Alex still might have some sort of, secret alliance agreement, like, hey, we still look out for each other. But Sophie with an eye is like, yeah, nah, these are my people. I know who I'm rocking with. These two people are the people who I want to rock with. So she's like, I'm down. If that's what we want to do, that's what we want to do. And so the seeds have already been planted for Alex, just like the seeds have been planted for Rizzo on the other side, because people are like, we need to get this idol out of Rizzo's hands. We got to either flush the idol or we got to surprise him. And the way he's playing very confidently and cocky, he's not going to play the idol. Sage wanted Rizzo. Well, Sage wanted Savannah. Let's be honest. Sage wanted Savannah. But everybody else was like, Rizzo. But Rizzo got this idol and we need to play it. And so I'm like, okay, this seems like an interesting, thing happening before immunity, even though, you can't really set that in stone because you don't know who will win immunity. So, yeah.
This is where the subtleties of Rizzo are, and I'm so glad that Rizzo is able to articulate it to the camera as well, because the things that Rizzo's doing are only things that an experienced player are capable of doing, and this is where org experience truly is coming into play, because it's that dropping hints of like, hey, I'm not pushing that Alex needs to go, but these are some things that I'm seeing Alex doing, and letting other people draw their own conclusions. Mm-hmm. And he's also smart because he noticed last week about Sophie being on the outs, and he made the comments of like, well, Sophie's got a lot less social capital, therefore being a better ally than MC. This week, it's with the Alex and Blue Sophie of, if you can get Blue Sophie to cut Alex, then like Blue Sophie's life vest is gone. So now Rizzo is amassing an army of players on the bottom that are about to end up in the majority. It's
Yep.
it's a master class in how this game is to be played.
I also will say, I think Alex has left himself very vulnerable in this position. I think for weeks, especially his relationship with Blue Sophie, he just kind of let that, from what we're shown, he kind of let that kind of rot on the
Fizzle.
vine there and just
Mhm.
kind of he's like, oh, she's at the bottom. She's just going to go away with the other Uli, members. That's not what happened. And he should, from my perspective, from what we're shown, he probably should have kept that relationship closer, because it seems like Blue Sophie told him nothing of these plans of him being a target for that core 3 group.
Absolutely not. And
So I'll
she
put
could
some
have.
blame on Alex here in this
Oh, it's
situation.
it is a lot of blame on Alex. Alex was very loose lips in this episode. He talked a lot and talked unnecessarily, and then, like you said, he did not nurture the relationship that he had with Sophie, and Sophie with an I. Because if he would have kept that relationship, like keep reassuring her, keep playing with her a little bit, she probably would have told him, like, because that's also a number, and this still is a numbers game at this point. And she like, he can get information from the other side that I don't have or I can't get. And if I get some information, some very valuable information, which he had,
I was about to say, he has
she
a
could
very
he
valuable piece of information.
she could have used that for her advantage as well. So yeah, this was on him too for not really nurturing the relationship that he built with Sophie with an eye, and they could have used that to propel both of them further into this game. But um, let's get to the immunity challenge, because the immunity challenge is interesting. It's very now we're back to individual immunity, and everybody's going to play for themselves, but Jeff says there's 2 immunity idols this week because fairness. It's for fairness, because this game here, even though we really didn't need a girl winner and a boy winner, because honestly the girls was gonna kick their butt anyway, because they did. Because the girls
They
do that. The girls kind of ate them up. They kind of ate up everybody. So we didn't really need a girl winner and a boy winner, but that's what they went with. So okay, sure. But you just had to hold a plate on the thing with your foot, and for the first half you could hold on to the contraption you were sitting on to help for some kind of balance or whatever, and then after another period of time you had to remove your hands, and you could not touch your legs, you could not hold the thing, you just had to hold it up and just keep your legs up. I would have been done in that. Like, I would have been Rizzo, like, give me 5 minutes, I'm done. Like, I'm first out. In this challenge. I'm first out. My back couldn't take it. My legs, my knees. I'm first out. I don't know about y'all, but I'm first out of this challenge.
Okay, so coincidentally, we literally just talked about something similar to this. Mike can talk about it too, because Mike was here for this episode. Last week when we filmed the Gone Too Soon episode for Solitary, we talk about an episode where they do a treatment where they have to sit on a stool, or they have like no support anywhere whatsoever. The first 10 minutes of this challenge are manageable.
Mm-hmm.
After those 10 minutes, this challenge becomes evil. And like, I respect the fact that at least their legs are helping support their weight a little bit, which in the solitary treatment it was, you are holding onto 2 metal bars sitting on a 4-inch octagon, and you have nothing to support you whatsoever. But here, at least they have like a seat, and like they can
Yeah.
hold their legs up. But still, their backs and their legs had to have been shattered.
Burning.
It looks like they had a little bit of back support, but it was just like a small wooden wedge behind them. Other than that, like, you're gonna lose feeling in your butt easily, like quickly, and then it's just gonna be miserable. I would hate this one, because I hate doing any sit-ups or anything with my abs, and this would just be pure torture after like 5 minutes.
Brutal. Brutal.
It's definitely an advantage too, and I agree with you, Lana, that like way to rob the women of like having a moment, because it was a very equitable challenge, but like women, specifically shorter women, have a distinct advantage
Mm-hmm.
in the ability to extend their legs further, and women just have much better core strength than men do in general. But yeah, it was definitely. I think I would actually do okay in a challenge like this, to be honest. But I I don't know. Kudos on Savannah and Steven for pulling that off, Mr. Ram.
Uh, yeah, they won. Hey, like I said, I don't think they needed a boy or girl winner, but congratulations to them. Savannah got savage at the end, and I kind of love it. Savannah, okay, let me talk about Savannah for a second. Savannah girl, okay, because we talked about this on this channel. The edit that they were giving Savannah like a little while ago, earlier in the season, wasn't very favorable to her. It made her. They tried to make her out to look like a mean girl. And I think she is kind of a mean girl, to be honest. I think she has a little bit of a mean girl tendency, and I think every girl has a little bit of a mean girl tendency. We all do. We all can be that. I admit it. I know. But she I think in this game and in these games, this is where she thrives. And this is where her mean girlness is it works for her. Because the way she was sitting there and was like, I'm not dropping. Oh, I'm gonna be here all day. I mean, you can sit here and go against me if you wanna, but I'm gonna be here. And Sophie is like, she was getting in Sophie's head. Like Sophie
Mhm.
was like, I can do it, I can do it. And I think Sophie probably could have done it a little bit longer if she didn't have Savannah chirping at her like, oh, I'm gonna be here all day. Oh, you don't have a chance against me. I'm not dropping. So I mean, if you want to sit here for another hour and a half, we can do it. But and Sophie's just like, okay, okay, girl. But and this is, oh, y'all, this is why I know for sure everybody was upset that Sophie came back and why they didn't vote out Sophie in that last elimination. Because I'm like, this is going to happen all season long. This is what we're looking at for the rest of the season. Sophie and Savannah are going to eat up these endurance challenges. They are going to eat them up, and it's going to come down to these two all the time. And y'all let her stay. So I think that whole thing with Steven and Christina and even Alex and them were looking like, why did we keep Sophie and let MC go when MC ain't been doing so great on these challenges, but this one has won a challenge and became second in the next one. Like we know she's good at these challenges and we're letting it go. So I think the reaction was that. But I think this is what's gonna happen. And the rest of the season with these endurance challenges, it's going to come down to Savannah and Sophie for the most part. And I mean, not that I'm mad at it, but I don't think they made the right choice by keeping Sophie in this game because she can continue to win. And now she's wedged herself into a group
Mhm.
where it's going to be much harder to get her out.
I think, especially now, I'm sure y'all talked about it, how much Sophie was just completely thrown back by
Yeah.
everybody's reaction to MC going and her still being there. And now she's just totally on one side and is winning challenges. And now the people winning challenges are all on one side of the vote. And that is just spelling doom for the rest of these tribe mates. And I think I agree with you, Lana. I would put money that's where we're going to see this season start to go.
Absolutely. Absolutely. But Savannah and Steven win. So the plan that they wanted to have of getting Savannah out the game, out the window, can't do that. She won again. Now we have to try to go for Rizzo for one side. And then we have Rizzo, like, let's knock this plan that I have into action now. The game, now we know what it is. Alex is not safe. Um, let's push this agenda. And I found this very interesting. Y'all can correct me if I'm wrong. The way Alex was going about this when they got back to camp and he was like trying to like convince Jawan to work with him, and Jawan was willing, but then Alex went and told Rizzo something that Jawan said, and I was just like, "What are you doing, sir?" Like,
Yeah.
I understand paranoia, and I understand that sometimes you hear your name and you freak out a little bit and you start talking a little. This was just weird for me. Like, what do you mean you go tell on Jawan, the one person who you were trying to get to be on your side to work with you, and was willing to do it if you would have just zip it? Like, it was weird for me. I didn't. I was confused by that.
I think Alex was trying, and maybe find out more when he does his exit press. But like, I almost think that the way in which Alex was playing the middle, it was less so about trying to play two sides against each other, and almost like he was trying to jury manage of like,
Mhm.
I know who's going, so if I give you a little bit of information on your way out the door, you're not going to be mad at me. But
Mhm.
Rizzo, again, seeing right through it and seeing what he was doing, was able to clock that. And those little things like, oh, you're going to bring me information about Jawan that I can then go back to Jawan with and prove that you're playing both sides, really just ended up sealing Alex's fate.
I agree. And I think it was giving me mirrors of Shannon and Shannon's exit.
Mhm.
Shannon, it's the same. It's this adage that we said when we covered that episode. If you're a friend to everybody, you're a friend to nobody in this game. You need to really plant your flag on one side and be like, these are my people. And the people that are doing that, making it clear where they stand with, at least who they're in coalition with, those are people that are finding success. I mean, we have Rizzo and Savannah and Sophie on one side, but we also have Jawan and Sage have a lot of influence in this end game here
Mhm.
because they're a group and they know that they're always going to stick together. I think people that are just kind of more wishy-washy, it's easier just to kind of cut them and just move on with the people that you know, because especially now people like Yellow Sophie, who she's planted her flag. She's like, I'm on this side. And it's looking to be really good for her going forward instead of being this free agent kind of going all over the place. I think that was Alex's biggest misstep, especially because that was such a big talking point about why Shannon was gone right before the merge.
The same thing happened with MC because MC was also doing that. I don't want to say, they wanted to put a vote on, Sophie wanted to put that vote on Jawan, and instead of her just not saying anything and letting Sophie do whatever Sophie was going to do, she felt like she needed to go tell Jawan, like, hey, Sophie said this, which then gets back to Sophie, and now Sophie's like, I can't trust you. And so it's like, I feel like people are just talking way too much in this game. They like, let the plans go, and because as we know in Survivor, plans change on every second in that game. And if you just let the organically flow, that target that was on you for a minute could shift in a dime, and you work to try to save yourself, yes, definitely. But like you said, you gotta plant your flag on a side. You have to. It's not many places to hide now with this amount of people. So you need to be clear on, I'm with this group, I'm with you, and I'm only working with you. And we can't go back and forth telling, like, there's no middle anymore. There's either left or right. You either with us or you ain't at this point. And Alex was just doing a lot of, for no reason, a lot of talking, and it didn't make any sense. And he shot himself in the foot. And the fact that Rizzo kept calling him out on everything that he was doing the instant that he was doing it, it was so impressive. For me, I think Rizzo is my MVP for this week, this episode, for that fact that he was able to call out what was going on, make a plan, execute the plan, and get people on board with the plan. And it was like, and people had options. Like, they had options. Like, everybody knew about Rizzo's idol. They could have easily been like, let's just flush this dang idol from him right now. Let's just do that. And if we do that, we get the idol out. Either he uses it and he's safe and we can put somebody else out, or he don't use it and he gone. And the idol gets back into the game the next day anyway. But the idol is out. So it just, the fact that it happened this way, and he still didn't use still did not have, okay. Let's just go to tribal because I'm like itching to talk about how this. I'm itching to talk about how this played out because I was gagged I was baffled. I was like, what do you mean? Y'all go sit here. Let this man with an idol, public idol, sit here, create the plan, and all of y'all fall and follow behind. He was Riz God for sure in this episode because how do you convince half of a tribe to follow you when
Mhm.
you have an idol that everybody knows about and nobody is questioning what no we're not going to even question it. We just go say yeah, that's a good plan, and we go do it. I
All the
was
eggs.
all the eggs, I was blown away.
All the omelets, all the eggs.
Well, no,
Eggs,
and like
omelets, it was go ahead, y'all.
I really think that every single person in this game is just like, hmm, am I going to make a move or am I afraid of an idol? And the answer is they are all afraid of an idol to the point where they're just not willing to try to take Rizzo out in any capacity. And I gotta say, obviously there are people that make sense for, right? For
Hmm.
Savannah, for Sophie
Yes.
with an eye. Like, duh. I'm with you. Jawan, Sage,
Yeah.
and Yellow Sophie, even. I'll
Hello.
give her this. She seems to want to move to that side too. I'll give her that. Jawan and Sage, I think, made I don't want to say a big mistake, but I think it was definitely a mistake that they're going to
Hmm.
have to see if they can recover from. Because at this point, I mean, Rizzo even mentioned it before Tribal that they have an extra vote, right? Because Savannah has an extra vote. Rizzo has an idol still. So even if it's 8 people at the next Tribal, they already have 4 votes. And if
Yep.
Yellow Sophie stays with them,
Mhm.
that's 5. That's a majority. They can do whatever they want. And even if not, they still have an idol. So if they hear who the vote is, which they probably will, let's be honest, nobody in this camp can keep their damn mouth shut. Um, they're just going to be able to do what they want. And that's not even mentioning the knowledge is power advantage. So,
Yeah.
like, which I am of the belief we may finally see a successful knowledge is power advantage played. Maybe even next week, I could see it happening.
Hmm. Yeah, and I think no, sorry, go ahead.
No, go for it. Go for it.
I also think Jawan and Sage flipping over to vote with Alex puts so much cover for like Yellow Sophie now being part of that voting block. Because I think
Hmm.
even if they did not switch, the votes were there to get Alex out. They would have split their votes 3-2, and then they had 4 votes to get Alex out, rather than a 4-3-2 vote. So, but hiding Sophie being part of their voting block, so it even gives them more insulation. So now I think everybody who was not on the right side of this vote may be like, okay, Alex goes out, but we can still get like Rizzo and Savannah and Sophie out. Like we still have the numbers for that. And they just don't. I think this is the tipping point where it's, I'll hold out. There's still game to be played, but this is kind of where I'm seeing the end game go for me. This is kind of
Hmm.
when one side just wins out.
I feel that this is where I think that Jawan has this overconfidence about him to where like it goes back to what I said at the beginning of the podcast talking about him not realizing like, oh, I'm on the bottom, like let me use this like extra player to try to turn the game over, and like didn't do it with the swap. I mean, it's worked out for him thus far. However, now I think that to Rizzo may be doing a good enough job of just kind of portraying himself as this just like bumbling young kid that nobody like is very disarming to people, that Jawan, I think, believes that the Alex thing was his idea. And that's the power of Rizzo, is that because if Jawan and Sage were smart, you just vote for Rizzo. If Rizzo doesn't play his idol, then Rizzo's gone. If he does play his idol, well, then Alex is gone. You get the same result that you wanted of the person in the middle flopping. You know Rizzo, who has the idol, is not shooting after you. That's the time to flush it. And they didn't do it.
They
They didn't do
did.
it. And I do think that they're going to look back on this moment, and that's when they'll regret it. Because, like you said, they now have 5 votes. That's it. They're the majority. They're the majority from here on out.
It was the it blows my mind. It baffled me. I was like, I'm completely like blown away with what happened and how this happened. But I'm about to pull up the screen. Don't panic. Mike is going to disappear for a second, but I'll bring him back absolutely in a second. Calm
Bye
down.
bye. Mike,
Nobody
the time
will.
is spoken.
Nobody frets. It's gonna be
Last one
very
in, first one out.
right. It's gonna be very quick and painless whenever my computer says it's ready to work. But anyway, there we go. Mike is
We
coming
made the
back.
final three.
No, Redemption Island is happening.
I'm back
Well,
from the
yeah.
edge of extinction.
Oh no!
I was about to say Redemption Island doesn't work out. Edge of
I have an
Extinction,
idol
on
in
the
my
other
pocket
hand.
because production
Yes.
gave it to me.
Because production gave you an idol when you came back. Yep.
Yeah.
That's not not wait. Not
Idols
that.
expire at Final 5, Mike. I'm sorry.
Yep. But since we know you have an idol, it's better to
Since we
know,
know,
you
it's
have
better
it
to know.
and preview in the game.
It's a public idol and everybody
Yeah.
knows what's going on.
It's
but
okay if
you'll
it's
never,
my public enemy who has it,
Yes.
you know?
I'm about to say,
Yeah,
I'm about to say,
yeah.
don't worry, because you'll never have to use it because we'll never play it. We'll
Yeah.
never try to flush it from you, Mike.
You
We
know,
never.
They're going to call his bluff this time and then he's going to use it.
I
Right.
wonder if there's something to this whole because basically since the new eras, idols are no longer hidden; they're more like public immunity idols, at least the pre-merge
Mhm.
ones. I wonder if there's an element to the fact that it's like the pressure is not as severe when everybody knows you have the idol, right? Like, so if you have an
Okay.
idol and it's a secret, it's in your pocket, and you're like, your name's out there, you have no choice but to play it because you don't know like who's trying to blindside you. But like when
Right.
you actively know that everybody knows you have it, like you can maneuver and play people having that knowledge. You know what I mean?
Right.
And I think that it's almost like a weird this is how Survivor evolves itself of like the way the idol system has worked is like inversed it to where it's like it's similar to the Yule idol where it's almost like a god idol more so than a hidden immunity idol.
Mhm.
Absolutely. But with everything that happened, Alex is out. He gets voted out with 2 votes against Rizzo, 1 vote against Sophie. Oh, not that, and none for Russell Hanson. But yeah.
And always
one-
hit none for Russell Hands. What do you
It's,
mean?
it's always none. And then and 1 for Sophie with an I because they were trying to split it just in case Rizzo did use an idol. Yeah, I'm gonna have to do it to you. Sorry, Alex.
Huh.
And sorry, Jack, because now Jack is holding on with the Rizzo and a Dream in the draft. Like that's all Jack has right now is Rizzo and a Dream, and it's
That's
a good choice to
pick.
have.
That is a
That's a-
great pick at this point.
That's
That's
a
what
great
happens
choice
when you
to
draft
have.
Happy Pele.
Yeah, when you it just you're doing so great. Logan is still holding on with the most people with Sage and Christina and Steven.
That's a solid team.
Solid. And then I am holding on with Sophie with an E. Oh, and Sophie and Logan also has Sophie with an I. I have Sophie IE and Savannah and Jawan. Yeah, we're tied. We're tied. We're tied.
Mm.
We're tied. So
Mhm.
that's the draft. But Alex and you know what? I do love how Alex realized, like, hey, this is on me. I did too much talking. I was very loose with my lips. He survived too close to the sun, and he got burned. He got burned because, and it was so funny. He was like, "I guess I shouldn't have tried to play both sides." And Rizzo was like, "I'm glad you knew that because I knew it." I was just like,
But and you know
Rizzo.
what? Good on Rizzo because you tell the juror on their way out the door that was me.
I knew that. And that's why we did what we did. That's why I got you. Like, yeah, he did. I'm about to pull a Big Brother reference. He, oh gosh, what is his name? How did I
Josh.
forget?
Josh Martinez.
Josh his way. Yes, he joshed his way through this whole thing.
Yeah.
He definitely made sure to let the jurors know these are my moves. I did this, and I'm glad you know I did it. And so, because if I'm a juror, I respect it. If you get me, I can't do nothing but respect
Mhm.
it. Like the game is the game, and you outplayed me, and that is the whole purpose of this game. And so I not that mad. I'm not that mad at that. But I still am enjoying this season, y'all. I'm still
Me too.
enjoying it, and like I said, I think Rizzo is playing an amazing game, and this was his episode for me. I still, I'm starting to enjoy Savannah a little bit more than I did before. I'm glad we're getting a little bit of Sophie, but I heard some other stuff of why we were getting so she was getting purple to begin with. So I'm like, okay, well, we'll see. I don't know. I don't
Oh,
know.
but
I don't know. I don't trust all that. I don't know. I don't
Erica was
outside
purple
information.
for the first half of her season 2.
True, very much true.
Um,
But
I'm just gonna go ahead and say, for the record, because I haven't been here in a bit, um, the Sophie with an I, Savannah, Rizzo trio is quickly rising in terms of like my overall favorite Survivor alliances. Because the thing is, like, people are saying, "Oh, Savannah's giving Mean Girl." Savannah's just being honest with people, and a lot of them can't
Yes.
handle it.
Yep.
Like like we didn't mention it, but at Tribal, she's like, I would like to give myself some props, because had I not won this immunity, people wouldn't have been scrambling as much as they were today. And you know what? Yeah,
it's
clock
true.
their teeth, Savannah. You are correct.
I
I
mean,
love.
go
She had
ahead.
the line that made me laugh the most. She was, after she won and they were coming back to camp, she was just like, "Everyone's so obsessed with me. Like, I'm happy that I have this around. Everybody's just saying my name. They're so obsessed with me." And I'm like, "She's iconic. She doesn't have to try. She's iconic for me."
I mean, I say she's a mean girl because she is, and who said that's a bad thing?
No.
Sometimes you have to be a mean girl, and I think in games like Survivor, being a mean girl is acceptable and sometimes needed. So, because when you are on a tribe, and we've seen in lots of Survivor past where women don't get the fairest treatment in some tribes, especially women who are small, like
Mhm.
Savannah. People like to overlook them. They don't think they're strong enough. And she's like, "Let me show y'all. Let me show you what I can do." And not only does she win two back-to-back immunity necklaces, she talk her shit when she do, and it's like, oops, okay. And I'm not mad at it because now everybody fears her. They're like, okay, we got to get Savannah. At some point, Savannah's too tough. She's too strong. You want them to think you too strong. Come for me, bro. Like, come for me, bro, and see what happens. And I'm gonna take you down every time. And so I don't think that's a bad thing to be a mean girl on Survivors. And I
No.
wish people would stop trying to make calling people mean girls a bad thing when you're playing a game where sometimes you got to be mean.
Mhm.
Mhm.
The best female players in Survivor have
I was
Are
all
gonna
been
mean
say,
girls.
and we can't clamor for villains and then be mad when somebody's giving us a villainous
yes,
attitude. She's not evil. She just knows what she's talking about. She
She's not
calls her
bad.
shot and
Beep.
shoots it.
Well, she's not bad. She's just drawn that way. You know, like she's just
Hello.
Strong.
Hello.
I
She's
love
just
you for
drawn
that.
that way. I love that. She's not
Um,
bad at all. She's just drawn that way. And I
I was
love
gonna
it.
say, name the legends of this game. You think Tony, Rob, Sandra, Parvati. They're all villains. They're
All
all
villains.
villains.
Well, one of them should have been with the heroes, her words. But
But she's
And
a
you know what?
villain. I'll lie, but I'll make it a good lie. Like lying about being a journalist.
I mean,
Sabina,
right.
yeah.
I'll make it a real
Shout
good
out.
lie.
Make it a real good lie. Shout out to you, Sandra.
Oh,
I hope.
I
Oh,
did
I hope to
write.
see Sandra so soon.
I did write in my notes. Christina said about Blue Sophie, she's like, "Oh, she's quote an easy number," and I wrote in my notes, "I don't know about that."
I do see a world where Blue Sophie, if it ends up coming down to Blue Sophie, Savannah, and Rizzo, I see a world where it's Blue Sophie that gets that win.
I
So
do too. I do too. But we shall see.
She's kind of my winner pick for the moment.
Look. I'm here for it, and because Sophie watches this pod from time to time, and I look, she follows me on Instagram. I'm just saying, we're
I
friends.
love Blue Sophie.
We
love
chit
Blue
chat.
Sophie in this household.
Me and Blue Sophie chit chat back and forth. And girlie, yes, I said the same thing. She can win this game, and I would not be surprised if she does because well, with the rumors of what's going on in the next season. I just don't think it's either one of them. I just think they go over there. But I think Blue
I
so just,
I will say, if we lose Rizzo to this stinking fire making, I'm gonna be so upset because it's like it's just that's gonna be
I think 4. Yeah, yeah. I could see that though. I could see that, and that will chop my hide a little bit. But
yes.
whatever happens, we're gonna be back next week here to talk about it, and we're gonna talk more about Survivor 49. We're gonna be at episode 10. I cannot believe we're already at 10. We are halfway done with this show already. It's crazy, but
Mhm.
I am so excited. I'm so thank. I first of all, Topher, we haven't seen you in forever, so I'm so glad you were able to make it here. Mike, I am sorry again for not telling you we started
That's
early.
okay.
And but we appreciate you being here. And Brooke, always, always, always. I enjoy having this panel. This was fun. I thought I was gonna have to do this one by myself today, so I'm so happy that I didn't.
Never.
So this is great. I mean,
Never.
period, period. But we'll be back next week. Who knows what the panel's gonna look like? But I'll be here. I think I should be. It's Thanksgiving week. Oh no, that's what I meant to say. It is on Thanksgiving. We are going to be moving this podcast because it will fall on Thanksgiving for us here in America. So we are not going to be podcasting on Thursday. So we're going to be pushing this probably to either Friday or Saturday. We're not sure yet. So just look for our recording to be a little late next week. Next week's schedule is going to be a little wonky for the holidays. So that's why you should just subscribe and hit the notification bell so you know whenever we drop a video because who knows what our schedule is going to look like next week? We don't know. So you don't know. So if you don't know, you need to hit the notification bell so you will know. So follow us and do all those things on this channel and all of our other channels. All the links will be in the description below, as well as our audio podcast links and our Patreon and all of our socials at The Cut Pod on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok, and Blue Sky. You can follow us if you wanna. That'll be great. Or if not, that's cool too. But what you should do is get your cup mug because we have those at lanascreations.etsy.com. That link will be in the description below. And if you go by Brook's Head, there's a QR code. Scan it, do it. It'll take you right there. And favorite it. Favorite my shop. That helps a lot if you go and favorite the shop. So do all of that. We truly appreciate you. And we're going to get out of here because we got more content to make and you can just hit the next video. So we'll see y'all next week. Cheers, everybody. Bye.
Cheers. Bye.
Bye.